It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B-Ron, and joining me on this morning is the man himself, Yells. Good morning, my friend. It's good to have you here with me for a change.
Glad to be here. Appreciate it. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah, happy Friday. Absolutely, absolutely. I feel like it's been a while since we've done this together, but it's good to be doing this with you. And we had a big night last night. The SJBA finals got underway, game one, and it was a thriller at the end. It certainly didn't look like it was going to be that way, but boy, it got really good down there at the end. The Pacers use a 12-2 run there late in the fourth quarter, ended up coming back and winning the game on a last second shot by Tyrese Halliburton. That was amazing.
Yeah, excuse me there. Thought I was about to sneeze. May have been allergic to that ending there. I mean, look, I'll say this. I always like to pat myself on the back. I'll tell you that. If you don't do it for yourself, who will, right?
Yep.
I I said last week, and then I just kind of mentioned as the Eastern Conference Finals were ending, I was rooting for the Knicks, but I just saw something in Tyrese Halliburton, man. I think you got it. I think there's some other guys in SimWorld TV. There's some guys here in Prep and SimWorld Prep and SimWorld. You have it. It's that heart, right? And it's just if you can hang around. I watched this game from start to ending, and all I could think to myself, B run last night was how much I love Alex Caruso defensively. How incredible OKC's defense looked. How many jumpers could the Pacers miss? How many shots could Miles Turner not take from the interior? How many things could the Pacers have go wrong and not their way for them to lose this game? And somehow they hung around and hung around like they've been doing all playoffs long. And down the stretch there, they were actually finally able to get some stops. OKC seemed to let them off the hook with some of the shots they were taking, and they just simply missed some. But at the end, when you keep it that close, Tyrese Halliburton not having a great game. There were times where I asked myself, hey, is he going to be more assertive? This is the aggression that people say he's missing. He's on and off. But he wants that moment. He wants that last shot. His team kept him in it. Nimhard, Naismith, my God, they did their things. And there was some lucky rolls and bounces there. But that shot he got off the last second shot, no time out there. That's what you want from a superstar. Just a great game. Just a great game.
Yeah, this is the kind of this is the time though to have those moments though, and one of the commentators said it. He's not afraid of the moment. He is the moment, and that was absolutely impressive when he went down and hit that shot. I picked OKC to win the series. Now, obviously, it's just game one, so it can still happen. But this was a performance where this is what you expect to see in the finals, right? These are the kind of games that you have to have and you're going to expect to have throughout the finals. This is where everything comes to a head. So for Halliburton to, you know, play like he did, 10 rebounds total, he had 6 assists, huge night again, and the game-winning shot. I mean, he did a lot. The defense in general for OKC was good. I think at limiting him in various respects, but when it came down to it, a lot of the guys got hot. The Pacers got hot there towards the end. Siakam hit some big jumpers. Turner hit one as well. There was a period of time there where it looked like no matter what the Pacers did, the Thunder were going to respond to it, and they did. But eventually, it snowballed for the Pacers. It started to snowball for them, and that's when it got dangerous for the Thunder there towards the end.
For sure. I mean, again, so just kind of looking over notes here. Uh, the OKC came out incredibly hot in this one. Here's a couple of stats. I'll throw some stats out for the stat watchers, right? But all they're really looking at is in the point columns, and they're looking at players, right? OKC came out like gangbusters. I've been waiting to say gangbusters my whole life. They came out like gangbusters. You thought it was really going to get out of hand, but they could never really push it beyond 15, 17 points as far as that lead. But they were hitting everything. They were in the right lanes. There was great ball movement. At one point, they were shooting over 60%. And on the other end, the Pacers could not hit a shot. You recall that, B-Ron? Did it look like that at all for you? Look that way?
Yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
they were
Let's
struggling. Yeah.
let's do this. Let's do this. OKC ended this game shooting under 40% at 39.8%, and the
Mhm.
Pacers finished this game at a shooting percentage of 47.6%. What does that say? They picked it up there in the second half in a major way. And like I said, they know who their go-to guy is. He only shot 6 for 11, 6 for 13, only 13 shot attempts for Halliburton. But he's proved what his role is on the team. And they said you saw moments there where you saw Nimhard forcing the action. Is he the star on this team? No. Can he go get buckets? Yes. Can he knock down an outside shot? Yes. But he was forcing the action, and the whole team said, "We're going to hold this guy up. We're going to do our part because we know if we can keep it within reach at the end of the game, we got a GD closer. We got a
Yep.
closer named Halliburton, and he did the job."
Yeah, he really did. And on the Thunder side, they played their hearts out tonight as expected. Again, you look at a guy like Shea Alexander tonight, 38 points.
38.
38 points in 40 minutes too. Like that's like he played the whole game pretty much.
Lou Dort. Lou
Lou
Dort's
Dort,
5 for 9
Dort
for 3.
Dort was
Yeah.
really key for them as well. I mean, and you also had Caruso defensively did pretty well. 11
B-Ron, he's
points.
gonna do
He
that. He's gonna
had
do that every night. He's gonna do that every night. He's a dog. But look. Here's a few more for you stat watchers. Jalen Williams 6 for 19. Not a great night. Chet Holmgren 6 points, 2 for 9. There you go.
yeah
Look, B-Ron, it's got to. I tell you what, and I don't want to hijack it, but for everything that went right, the way OKC lost this game down the stretch, the talk of the day today and the talk of last night was going to be Tyrese Halliburton. I even fell to it myself. Tyrese Halliburton, what a shot, and the Pacers come back. But if you really think about what was accomplished throughout this game for the OKC Thunder and how it ended, they really fell apart. Because in all honesty, your star, the MVP, dropped damn near 40. You got 5 for 9 from deep. Lou Dort knocking down threes, and you're forcing turnover after turnover. I mean, the defense was tight. You forced 24 turnovers, and you lost this game.
yeah yeah.
Not a good look.
I agree, and that leads very nicely into what has to change in game two. For these teams, for the result to flip, perhaps. One of those things, in my opinion, Yells, and you mentioned it, you had to get production from the other guys, and most importantly though, you have to close the game, because that's what happened last night. They weren't able to close it. The Thunder weren't effectively. You have to be able to close games like this, and for me, that's the big picture thing that has to change for game two for the Thunder to win.
Yeah, I mean, that's easy money. You got to be able to close a game. For me, OKC did not do the same things in the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter, that they did in the first half. That got them that big lead. And it's a habitual SWBA problem. You see it happen late in games. That's why we've seen all of the comebacks that we've seen in this year's playoffs. And to me, that is everyone getting caught up in the moment, getting caught up in the hype and feeling themselves and say, hey, we got this great lead. Now let's get fancy. Let's get some one-on-one action. Forget moving that ball. OKC was moving that ball. It looked like a 3-man, 5-man weave. 5-man weave's not a real thing, just so y'all know that. But that's what it looked like. The ball was hopping in the first half. Chet Holmgren, of his 6 points, most of those, I believe all 6 probably came in the first half off easy high pick and roll. There was great action there. We get into the fourth quarter and it's give the ball to Shea. Maybe let's get a high pick and roll, but if the defense is there, then we're just kicking it to the corner for a 3. There's other shots in the game of basketball, guys, other than a swing to the corner for an open 3. Cut to the lane, pick and roll, post up. Just post up. So, I mean, look, they fell apart down the stretch there because they weren't executing the offense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is the execution of the offense, and again, just closing out the game in general. I think that you really you can't afford to not, especially in a game of this magnitude, yells. You can't afford to not uh, close the game back because, like you said, they did a lot of things right. And also, I will give another thing too for this because it's in my mind. I think that the play calling down the stretch has to change too. And I look at that final play as a good example, personally. I
Mhm.
understand you only had 0.3 seconds left, so it's not a lot of time to do anything really. But I don't like the that play call to try to get something at the rim. I think and I think I don't like it personally because that's such a rare thing to happen to get a look like that at the rim. You're better off trying to get something out in the spacing of the floor versus throwing it into a congested area like the paint would be at that point in time in the game. But again, only 0.3 seconds left, but I think you get a better play design than that. What else do you go to? I don't know, but maybe something like I said, closer out or out in the spacing of the floor.
I
I,
don't know if you have time to do that, B-Ron. I don't know if you have time. The
you
main
had
story. This
you
is
really
look.
had time to like
I'll
catch
talk
and
like a
shoot. I
coach here.
think that's about it.
They shouldn't even been in that position.
I
I'll
agree.
before you move us on because I know the producers. I see the look on your face. So let me again. I never jump to the stats. I tell the story of the game, but I think the stats emphatically tell the story of this one. I'm gonna go through the team stats here. Here you have it. OKC got 98 shot attempts up in this game compared to only 82 for the Pacers. The Pacers had 24 turnovers as opposed
Man,
to OKC, who only had 13. All right. And then, or excuse me, the OKC only had 6 turnovers. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. But here's the two stats that say everything you need to know. Because those two stats I just said right there, that's a win. You got more shot attempts, you were forcing turnovers. That's a win. But here's where it is. Pacers, 56 rebounds on the glass to your 39 OKC. And here's the big one that we saw in the second half. 24 assists for the Pacers, 13 assists from OKC. Ball wasn't moving. They were not getting good team play, ball movement action. They fell into the slump in that second half, and the offense wasn't executing.
yeah, and that's it. That's it, right? As simple as that. One more thing we got it here. Mark's been talking about it all week. I had asked Number Jay about it when he was with me on Wednesday. So we'll ask you to wrap up the week here, yells. Whoever everybody else, pretty much. Talking legacy in terms of the finals win and what it does for a lot of these guys. Should they get the goal done of winning the finals this season? I talked to me and Cyber J talked about the obvious ones, SGA, Halliburton. I mentioned guys like Miles Turner, for example, as well. What does that legacy talk look like for you in terms of what it means for these players? What do they have the chance to do with this moment in this series here?
As far as who may get it or just how it impacts them.
Just how it impacts them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, to me, obviously, it's more money, right? If you
Yeah.
if you have a moment, there's demands you have on the free market that you're allowed that other players are not. That's number one. Number two, you're viewed differently, and not only do you get more money in the contract, it opens up endorsement opportunities because the media is going to talk about you, and the media we love a good story, and we also love to tear that story down. That's what the job is. But aside from all of that, you get the opportunity to really showcase yourself for the following season. It gives you a platform. Money aside, it gives you the opportunity and say, hey, I can do it on the biggest stage. So let me do it during the season. Give me an opportunity. A Nimhard right now with how he showed up doing some of the dirty things in game one. If that was carried through the entire series, they go on and win it. Nimhard may not be the superstar on this team. He may not be the person to talk about, but the cachet for him will step up in a major way. More minutes. Other teams looking at him saying he can fill a role for us. Lou Dortz. I keep putting the S on the back of that. You gotta deal with that. Lou Dort, Alex Caruso, just having your moments during the finals. That's when it happens. Just like we talk a lot about hoopsteria. It's not always about what you do, but it is absolutely about when you do it. You know my analogy, B-Ron. If my homeboy is there to party with me every day, I'm with it. But what I really need is for you to show up if I don't have a ride for some reason. When you show up matters, and I'm going to remember it way more. So as of right now, I'm remembering Halliburton, and I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, well, game 2 is June 8th at 8 p.m.
To that point, B-Ron,
Yep.
the night's over. Matter of fact, the night's over, and we have an MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who dropped 38 in the finals, and we have a non-MVP who's been classified as overrated all throughout the playoffs. He only had 14 points. Who's the bigger talk tonight?
The bigger talk,
Is it 38-point MVP?
No, it's not.
Or is it
it's
big
not.
shot 14-point Halliburton?
It's not. It's Halliburton. Absolutely Halliburton.
It's about when you do it, baby.
About when you do it. Game 2 is June 8th. And one more thing before we go, Yals. I gave my prediction yesterday on the show. What is your prediction for the series? Who wins it? How many games?
Man, look. Everybody likes to do it, so I'm gonna get on with it too. Hey man, you can have OKC, you can have KFC, OFC, Pacers in 6.
Pacers in 6. All right, I picked OKC in 6. I love it. All right, man. Well, look. Thank you for joining me this morning. I really appreciate you and your time, man. Always good to be here. Good to fill in for Marsh here to end the week as well. Thank you, Marsh, for allowing me to fill in for you as we wrap up SimWorld today for the week. He'll be back.
Hurry back, Marsh.
Yep.
B-Ron doesn't wear shirts in the studio. Hurry back, Marsh.
He'll be back on Monday. We'll see you guys back here on Monday for more SimWorld today. Remember, you guys, SimWorld's the only place you can see the game, be the game, and like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff to know on all of our shows, games, streams in the off season. Go live for you. And one more time, sometimes I gotta say it twice. Remember, SimWorld's the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you back here on Monday.